Lot of students are familiar on how to carry out the division of numbers, but not with base numbers. In this video, I'll be showing you on how to carry out the division process of base numbers. Check this out. We are going to be using these 4 examples on the board to explain the division of base numbers. Now let's use these examples to explain the division of base numbers. The first question is in base 2, the second question is also in base 2, the third question is in base 5, and the fourth question is in base 8. Now, you have to know that this number here is called the dividend. The number here is also called the dividend, while the number here are called the divisors. Now, the structure will be in this form, whereby the number here is called the divisor, the number here is called the dividend, and our result will be the quotient. So what we are trying to get is called the quotient, and this will be the process. Now let's start with question 1. In question 1, we have the dividend and the divisor. So we're going to put each of these where they belong in this following structure. So the structure of the division will be in this form, and this will be here, while this number will be here. So the next thing is to find a way to get our quotient. Now to get our quotient, you look at the first 2 digits here, 1, 0, and this is 1, 1. Always remember that your dividend must be greater than the divisor. So this is 1, 0, this is 1, 1. So we're going to, you see that this number is lesser than this number, so we are going to increase it to 3 digits. So that will be 1, 0, 0 and 1, 1. So we can see 1, 1 in 1, 0, 0. And that will give us 1. 1 times this will give us 1, 1. Then you subtract. So to subtract this in base 2, these 3 digits and these 2 digits in base 2, we're going to take 1 from here. The 1 you carry from here, you bring from here to this place, and this place will be 2. So you take 1 from here, and that will be 2. So 2 plus 0 is 2. You take 1 from 2, this becomes 1, and this is now 2. So 2 minus 1 is 1, and this 1 minus 1 is 0, 0. So it means 1, 0, 0 minus 1, 1 will give us 1 in base 2. So you take this down. Let's take this down. So when you take this down, this will give us 1. You bring this down, and this will give us 1, 1. So 1, 1 divided by 1, 1 will give us 1. 1 times 1, 1 will give us 1, 1. You take another subtraction, and this will give us 0, 0. You bring this down as 0. So we say 1, 1 divided by 0, that will be 0. 0 times 1, 1 will give us 0, 0, 0, and you stick another negative sign, that is a minus sign. So this will be 0, 0, 0, and the answer will be 1, 1, 0 in base 2. So that is a quotient. Now let's take a look at question 2. In question 2, we're going to put this here, and we'll put this number here. 1, 1, how many 1? I think it's 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the next thing is to look at the divisor and the number of the digits in the dividend. So we have 1, 2, 3. You can see that these 3 numbers are bigger than these 3 numbers. So we're going to pick this number. We won't pick all the whole numbers. We're going to just pick 3 digits. So to operate with this number, we say we divide this by this. We can see 1, 0, 1 and 1, 1, 1. And that will be 1. 1 times 1, 0, 1 will give us 1, 0, 1. 1, 0, 1. So you subtract that, 1 minus 1, that will be 0. 1 minus 0 is 1, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So we don't need this because it's starting the number. So it's still the same thing as 1, 0. So we're going to put this down, and that will be 1. 101 divided by 101 will give us 1. 1 times 101 will give us 101. You subtract this again, you get 0. You're going to put this digit down. That's the next step. Then you say 101 in 1. That is not possible, so you put 0. So you say 0 times 101. That will give us 0 as well. So you subtract this, you still get 1. So you bring the next digit down, and that will give us 1. 101 in 1. This is a smaller number. Always remember that the dividend must be bigger than the divisor. So this is smaller than this, so that will be 0. 0 times 101 will give us 0. You subtract, and you get 1. The next is to put this down, and that will be 1. So now we have 1, which is bigger than 101. So this and this will give us 1. 1 times 101 will give us 101. So you subtract this. So this will be 1 minus 1, 0. 1 minus 0, 1. And this is 0. It's not needed. So we bring down this as 1. So we have 101, 101. 101 divided by 101 will give us 1. 1 times 101 will give us 101. You subtract, and you get 0. So the remainder will always be 0. So this will be in base 2, and that is our answer. So the quotient is the answer. This is how to carry out the division of base number in base 2. Now let's look at how to carry out the division process in base 5 and base 8. To start with question 3, which is in base 5, you have to note that the division process of other bases, aside from base 2 and base 10, you have to consider multiplication timetable for that divisor in the division. As thus, the divisor in this division is 2 base 5. So we say base 5. You have to note that base 5 ranges from 0 to 4. 0 to 4 is 5 digits. So that is base 5. So you say 2 base 5 times 0 in base 5. 2 base 5 times 1 base 5. 2 base 5 times 2 base 5. 2 base 5 times 3 base 5. 2 base 5 times 4 base 5. So you stop here. So that is 0 to 4. 0 to 4. So this will give us 0, which is not needed in this our evaluation. So this is 2 base 5. This is 4 base 5. We say 4 base 5 and 2 base 5 because it's not up to a bundle. So this will be 6. 6 can be in the bundle of 5. So that will be 1. This one is 5. That is 5 times 1 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. So 2 times 3 in base 5 will give us 1 in base 5. And this is 8. 2 times 4 is 8 in base 10. 8 in base 5 will give us 1, 3 in base 5. So this 1 represents 5, 5 plus 3 is 8. So these are the outcome of carrying out the multiplication in base 5 from 0 to 4. So the next step is to divide. Let's divide. So you say 2 as a divisor and 1, 4, 1. So the division will be very easy now. So you say 2 you consider the first digit. The first digit is smaller than the divisor. So you consider 2 digits, which is 1, 4. So 2 in 1, 4 will give us, you look here, 1, 4. This is 1, 3. We can see 1, 3 in 1, 4. There can be 1, 3 in 1, 4 because this number is smaller than this number. So 2 in 1, 4, we say it is 4. So 4 will be written here. 4 times 2. 4 times 2 is 1, 3. So you say 1, 3. Then you put your minus sign for subtraction. Subtract 1, 4 minus 1, 3. This will give us 1. Then the next thing is to bring the number here down. And that will give us 1. So 2 divided by 1, 1. You can say 1, 1 here. 2 divided by 1, 1 will give us 3. So you put 3 here. 3 times 2 will give us 1, 1. 1, 1. You put your subtraction sign. Then that will give us 0. 1, 1 minus 1, 1 is 0. So the answer is in base 5. And this is the answer. So now let's look at number 4. To start with number 4, we are going to take the multiplication timetable of 6 base 8. And that will be solution base 8 is 0 to 7. So we say 6 base 8 times 0 in base 8, 6 base 8 times 1 in base 8, 6 base 8 times 2 in base 8, 6 base 8 times 3 in base 8, 6 base 8 times 4 base 8, 6 base 8 times 5 base 8, 6 base 8 times 6 base 8, 6 base 8 times 7 base 8. So these are the outcomes of multiplying in base 8. And that will give us, so we'll say 6 times 0 is 0 in base 8, which is not needed in this division. 6 times 1 in base 8 is 6 base 8. 6 times 2 in base 8. So we'll say 6 times 2 is 12. 12 can be in the bundle of 8. And that will give us 1, then remainder 4 in base 8. Why do we say this? Because 8 times 1 is 8. This one is as 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. 6 times 2 is 12. So 6 times 2 in base 8 is 1, 4 in base 8. Now let's move to the next one. 6 times 3 is 18 in base 10. Can give us 2, remainder 2 in base 8. So meaning that 8 times 2 is 16. 16 plus 2 is 18. So it means that 6 times 3 is 22 in base 8. Now let's move to the next one. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 4 is 24 in base 10. But 6 times 4 in base 8 will give us 3 remainder 0. Why do we say 3 remainder 0? Because 8 times 3 is 24. 24 plus 0 is still 24. So it means 6 times 4 in base 8 will give us 30 in base 8. Why 6 times 4 will give us 24 in base 10? Now let's move to the next one. 6 times 5 in base 10 is 30. But 6 times 5 here will give us 3 remainder 6. Why do we say 3 remainder 6? Because 8 times 3 is 24. 24 plus 6 will give us 30. 6 times 5 is 30 in base 10. 6 times 5 in base 8 will give us 36 in base 8. Let's move to the next one. 6 times 6 is 36 in base 10. In base 8, 6 times 6 should give us 4 remainder 4. Why do we say 4 remainder 4? 8 times 4 is 32. 32 plus 4. 32 plus 4 will give us 36. Just like 6 times 6 is 36. So 6 times 6 in base 8 will give us 4 in base 8. So now let's go to the next one. So we'll say 6 times 7. 6 times 7 is 42 in base 10. But in base 8, 6 times 7 should give us 5, 2. We say 5, 2 because 8 times 5 will give us 40. 40 plus 2 is 42. Just like 6 times 7 is 42. So it means that 6 times 7 in base 8 is 5, 2 base 8. So these are the outcomes of multiplying in base 8. So the division process will be very easy now. So we'll say we put 6 in the device as a divisor and 5, 5, 6 as a dividend. So we'll say 6 in 5, no. So pick 2 digits, 6 in 5, 5. Look at 5, 5 here. This is 5, 2. This is 5, 4, 4. So we can see 5, 2 inside 5, 5. So it means we're going to get 7 as the first digit. So 6 in 5, 5 will give us 7. 7 times 6 will give us 5, 2. 5, 2 in base 8. So subtract and we'll get 3. So we'll bring the next digit as 6. 6 in 3, 6. We have 3, 6 here. It means 6 in 3, 6 will give us 5. So write 5. 5 times 6. 5 times 6 or 6 times 5 will give us 3, 6. So subtract and that will give us 0, 0. So this is the answer in base 8 and that is the answer.